Poor Dad will still continuing on that. And so let us now. So let me just share the screen and we will start the Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay. Okay.
Old. In my personal in America, Rich Dad was proud of me. Now the wants.
So
I
it
want to be
goes
free to
back a
travel
bit.
the world.
So
The
we
10
just
steps is the most important. But of all the steps, this step is probably the most difficult to master if it's not already a part of your makeup. I would venture to say that it's the lack of personal self-discipline that is the number one delineating factor between the rich, poor, and middle class. I do not take the saying, pay yourself first, lightly. The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason is where the statement, pay yourself first, comes from. Millions of copies have been sold. But while millions of people freely repeat that powerful statement, few follow the advice. For those who do follow it, their financial statement, income statement, and balance sheet shows income flowing into assets and assets supplying income.
So I think we'll discuss about that as well. That pay yourself first. What does that mean? So that means allocating or taking the money out of your income, whatever you have, um, for yourself, as a saving, as investment. So that is something, you are paying yourself first. So paying yourself first does not mean, you know just taking that money out and spending that. He says when you're spending it, then that means it says that you are paying your different these shops, these companies first. So that's quite a difference. So you have to understand that.
A piece of the action. That is why the ROI, or return of and on investment, is so important. Frequently, my broker will call me and recommend I move a sizable amount of money into the stock of a company that he feels is just about to make a move that will add value to the stock, like announcing a new product. I will move my money in for a week to a month while the stock moves up. Then I pull my initial dollar amount out and stop worrying about the fluctuations of the market because my initial money is back and ready to work on another asset.
So that's also a very good strategy. So you can do this both on for property and also for investments or stocks. Now in this statement, there are two important points he mentions. So one is his investment broker. So that means he talks about someone who is a professional who knows the market, and he could see that the stock prices are going up or is going to go up. So that's the reason when that is the time when he suggests that okay, you buy this stock. And so that means the first thing is he has someone who analyzes it, and he earlier says that he doesn't hesitate to pay quite a good sum of money to these professionals, because these are the people who have the knowledge and they can save you a lot of money. And so you should be willing to pay them um, good, so that you can get a good professional advice from the best kind of a professional in that industry. Okay, so that means he gets the professional advice. So that's the one message. That means he doesn't do it himself. Okay, a lot of time if that is not my forte or our forte, then we cannot be expert in everything. For example, um, Warren Buffett, he's an expert, or he loves reading and studying the financial statements of the companies, and that's a different matter altogether. Okay, but in case of Robert, he says that his primary kind of focus is property. So probably he talks about him getting into a lot of property courses and all, but stocks and shares is not his forte, and that is the reason why he takes advice from others. And then the second thing is very important is he puts the money in because this is stock prices is going up, or is going to go up in a few weeks time. It went up, and he takes his money out. Okay, so that means what? So if you put $100, okay, and then 100 becomes $200, so what he does, he sells and recovers. So that means he gets his $100 back, and the rest 100 is there. So that means he doesn't hold on. So that's another thing, hold on to the entire. He does invest, but his money or seed money is something he takes it out to invest in something somewhere else. Exactly the same strategy you can implement in properties as well. So you invest, and initially, and then you add value to the property, and property value goes up, so you take your money out and invest in another property. Okay, but in case of property as well, you can get a very good return on investment, but you may not be able to pull all your money out in all the circumstances. But yeah, it's a good strategy. Okay, so let's move on.
Use the income from my assets to buy my luxuries. When I wanted to buy a Porsche, the easy road would have been to call my banker and get a loan. Instead of choosing to focus in the liability column, I chose to focus in the asset column. Lynch's book to understand how he chooses stocks. And I read about Donald Trump, trying to find out how he negotiates and puts deals together. Just as I was not me when I was up to bat, when I'm in the market or I'm negotiating a deal, I am subconsciously acting with the bravado of Trump. Or when analyzing a trend, I look at it as though Peter Lynch were doing it. By having heroes, we tap into a tremendous source of raw genius. But heroes do more than simply inspire us. Heroes make things look easy. It's the making it look easy that convinces us to want to be just like them. If they can do it, so can I.
So that's another very important point. He says that, okay, so when you have an hero, okay, let's, for example, he talks about Warren Buffett, or Donald Trump. So these people, they're highly successful in their industry, what they do. Um, but when so having a hero means, he talks about how he implements, uh, you know or how he utilizes his heroes in day-to-day life. Okay, so that means when he looks at stocks, so Peter Lynch or Warren Buffett, they are his hero. So what he does, he reads about them. Probably he attends their seminars and workshops, and then he understands the strategies, what they say. And when he himself probably will be making an investment decision, so what he says is, he just puts himself, okay, um, or he puts Warren Buffett, okay, in his shoes. So that means how Warren Buffett would have negotiated this, or how Warren Buffett would have taken a decision on this kind of an investment. Okay, so in that way, so that means, that's a very powerful point. So that gives you the confidence. Okay, somebody who is the best in that industry, you assume yourself as that person. You're dealing with, so when you are dealing, you will be dealing with a lot of confidence.
Step number 10, teach and you shall receive. Both of my dads were teachers. My rich dad taught me a lesson I've carried all my life, and that was the necessity of being charitable or giving. My educated dad gave a lot by the way of time and knowledge, but almost never gave money. As I said, he usually said that he would give when he had some extra money. Of course, there was rarely any extra. My rich dad gave money as well as education. He believed firmly in tithing. If you want something, you first need to give, he would always say. When he was short of money, he simply gave money to his church or to his favorite charity. If I could leave one single idea with you, it's that idea. Whenever you feel short or in need of something, give what you want first, and it will come back in buckets.
Wow, that's a powerful statement we discussed earlier as well. That whenever you are in need of something, Okay, so for example, when you are in need of money, he says that you give your money first. Okay, and that's what his rich dad did. So that means what? How do you give that money? So that means giving it to charities, helping other people. So that is how when you give, then it comes back to you in multiple of times. So that's a powerful statement. So and so powerful that he said that if he wants to give one advice, and that one advice would be to give it first, and whatever you need, so give that first, and you will receive it in abundance.
That's true for money, a smile, love, friendship. I know it's often the last thing a person may want to do, but it's always worked for me.
That's so true. So that means when you are looking for money, when in need of money, you must be thinking, how can I give money? But he says that probably it's difficult. Okay, but when you are in need of money, doesn't mean that you don't have anything to give away. Okay, so that means that the focus should be there.
I just trust that the principle of reciprocity is true. And
Yeah, so this is called the principle of reciprocity. So what you give, it comes back in manifold.
take action. All of you were given two great gifts, your mind and your time. It is up to you to do what you please with both. With each dollar bill that enters your hand, you and only you have the power to determine your destiny. Spend it foolishly, you choose to be poor. Spend it on liabilities, you join the middle class. Invest it in your mind and learn how to acquire assets, and you will be choosing wealth as your goal and your future. The choice is yours and only yours. With every day, with every dollar, you decide to be rich, poor, or middle class.
Hmm.
Choose to share this knowledge with your children, and you choose to prepare them for the world that awaits. No one else will. You and your children's future will be determined by choices you make today, not tomorrow. This has been a Time Warner Audiobooks production of Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
All right. So we finish it here. So what we will cover next on our book series. So we'll be covering a fantastic book. Where is that? So let me just look for that book here. Um, so we'll discuss about, because we briefly discussed about that richest man in Babylon. So we'll go through richest man in Babylon, and that's the next book. Okay. Let's speak to you later then, guys.